The long-awaited murder trial of soccer star Senzo Meyiwa is set to resume at the High Court sitting in Pretoria on Monday. But in an unexpected turn of events, one of the suspects linked to Meyiwa's killing has been sentenced to 12 years in prison for another attempted murder charge. Lobby group AfriForum, which represents the Meyiwa family, is concerned about this new development. Let's bring in Advocate Gerinel. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon. So let's just start with that new fact that we have one of the suspects already serving time now for another crime. Is this going to affect proceedings tomorrow, perhaps?
Good evening. No, not at all. It's an irrelevant fact. The trial will start tomorrow. The prosecution will have an opportunity to present their case. Their witnesses will be tested by the accused, and the accused will also have an opportunity to state their case. So, no, the fact that somebody's been convicted of any crime is irrelevant, will never be presented in a trial, and that will never be taken into account by the court. The court will only make findings on those facts that's presented in the Senzo Meyiwa trial.
Advocate, are you still of the view that the men arrested are the ones involved? They have a case to answer to. I know in my last conversation with Senzo's brother, he was convinced that this is a cover-up.
Yeah, indeed. You know, the unfortunate impact of the years and years of delay in this investigation and the unfulfilled promises by police management and by politicians created fertile ground for conspiracies to start and to grow, and that created a split in the family about what happened or what did not happen. You know, I've been briefed by police management and by the investigating team. I've seen some statements, and I'm satisfied that the state has got a strong case against the 5 people before the court. I'm still critical of the fact that there were not more arrests made, especially of what we've called the mastermind. I do not think, and that's only my view, I don't want to prejudge the case because we start tomorrow. I want to be very cautious, but I don't agree with the state that this was a robbery that went wrong.
Let's expand on that, Advocate. I mean, you speak of this mastermind. Do we know if there are actually any investigations into this?
Yes, I can say yes. I won't disclose anything further. I can just say that the police have a very good idea, that the police have been investigating this, and that they know, and that there's been lots of discussions between the police investigating team and the prosecution team. And yes, I think there's been investigation into it. I would have hoped that the mastermind would have been arrested and part of the indictment. But there's a strategy. The prosecution team decided on a strategy. Their strategy is to first prosecute the people before court, and let us see how this unfolds.
Now, of course, the family is still retaining your services. Can you maybe give us a sense as to how they're feeling ahead of the trial tomorrow? Will they be in court? And your role as this case begins?
They will be in court tomorrow. I will see them again tomorrow. I haven't seen them in a while. When I last spoke to them, there's a sense of relief that there's no trial, that they step closer to closure. I don't have to expand on the heartache of a mother that lost a child. But the family will be in court tomorrow, my clients, and we will certainly monitor the trial, ensure that justice is done. And one of our main roles will be to inform the family, our clients, and to answer all these questions about the trial, what it means, what the impact of certain witnesses will be on the finding of a court. So, but we hope that the trial will start. You know, in most of these big trials, it's always on day one applications and some kind of argument. So we sincerely hope that the trial will start tomorrow. It's now been 8 years. I think that we owe it to the family, society, police, and criminal justice system, owe it to the family to ensure that this step is taken to ensure that they have closure.
Are you able at all to give us a sense as to who the witnesses are going to be? Anybody from who was actually present on that day?
All I can say is, I've been a prosecutor for a long while. We all have seen documentaries and we've discussed this with lots of people, but the court, the judge, he hasn't seen a thing. So he wouldn't know what happened. So the state will have to paint a picture about what happened on the day and what happened up until the arrest of the accused. So firstly, I think the state will have to paint a picture about what happened on that fateful day.
Lastly, Advocate, I don't know if you can maybe just give me your thoughts with regards to another trial that's set to begin in Pietermaritzburg, and we know that the former president says that he wants to privately prosecute Advocate Downer because the NPA is refusing to do so. Maybe just touch on the prospects of success in actually prosecuting the former president and his prospects of success of actually getting the advocate to also be privately prosecuted.
It'll be irresponsible of me. I don't know enough about the case. What I do know is I've got lots of respect for Billy Downer. I think that Billy Downer is an excellent prosecutor. I think that Billy Downer has been busy with this particular case for a long while now. All I can say is that it's interesting that private prosecution is now discussed publicly, and we'll have to see how this develops, but I'll be irresponsible to give you any views on this.
All right. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon.